The NFL has so much money, it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter. Like they'll pay this guy $181 million dollars, and if he flops, they'll be like, "Well, we'll figure it out."
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Top Shelf Tuesday edition, we're going to talk about quarterback supports, teams that are actually supporting quarterbacks. We're also going to do news and notes from around the league, and also talk about UFL players putting in the work in the offseason. So let's get started. With us today, Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, we are going to start off with the San Francisco 49ers and answer the big question, did they make the right decision? So San Francisco quarterback Brock Purdy got the bag. Now, he might be Mr. Irrelevant, but not anymore. The Niners and Purdy reached a deal. He signed a 5-year, this guy signed a 5-year, $265 million contract. Just 28 days into the offseason, his extension will includes $181 million in guarantees, including those for injuries. And Brock Purdy is straight Bradley Bill. He's got a full no trade clause, the first in franchise history. $53 million a year average puts him on par with Jared Goff for the 7th highest paid player in the league. All right, man. Brock Purdy, is he worth all of this?
I mean, hey, first of all, get the bag
Get the
always.
bag.
Always. But I think they bet on Purdy making that next step from his first year to like making that really superstar level. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And at the end of the day, I like that. I've said it before. Like a sandwich in the airport. It gonna cost you somewhere. It don't matter if it's McDonald's. I don't care if it's in a cart. It's gonna be 11, $12. You're gonna pay some money for that thing. And I feel like they could have passed on that sandwich. And if if you can make it happen with a Brock Purdy, you should have been planning to draft anybody in the draft. I mean, you could have went after Shador if you wanted. Why not? You know, but it is what it is. I think we'll see if he's one of those guys that's like a Tua or like a Trevor Lawrence, guys who are just we're paying you ahead because in 2 years from now, if you happen to be good, it'll be a bargain. But at the end of the day, for real, the NFL has so much money, it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter. Like they'll pay this guy $181 million dollars, and if he flops, they'll be like, "Well, we'll figure it out." Look at Kirk Cousins; they were out of that
No,
easy.
don't you start that. So
My
I've
bad.
got to ask, Will, honestly, they didn't have to sign him this year. They could have played this thing out, franchised him, and done whatever. Why the hurry? Like, I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not a fan of any team. I do things strictly for entertainment purposes only. But I was rooting for the Cowboys to play it out and see who's got the guts as an owner to say, I'm going to roll the dice all the way through. And if you roll 7, I'll pay you. And if not, I'll pay you less. But 49ers, God bless them. Good luck.
He's not. I mean, he's not a bad
This
quarterback.
has nothing to do with bad. I am fiscally
I mean,
conservative.
Brock Purdy, I put him in the same class of like Jared Goff, like maybe slightly under, but he's right in that like level in my opinion. Like, and you've seen his play, he's right in there. You know,
I would have got like Will whatever that the Steelers ended up getting. I'd have got somebody in the
if
7th
they
round.
if they keep people around him, if you keep guys who can ball around him, he will have succeed. He's not one of those, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. I could throw it to anybody when you're going to playoff kind of guy. He needs talent, like a lot of guys. So keep going around. It's expensive though. It's a big
All right.
expensive.
The Bears, not on my watch. So, new Chicago Bears coach Ben Johnson is not bothered by the media reports that Caleb Williams was unhappy with being drafted. It doesn't matter. I'm a better coach. It's going to work out for me. How do you, so when I got to Springbrook, ladies and gentlemen, Fowler and those guys had a different coach. Again, who I'm friends with. My style was different, and I'm very comfortable that I can come in and make something happen. Ben Johnson is apparently very comfortable to come in and make things happen. When you hear Ben Johnson say, "I got this," how are you feeling about that, Will?
I believe, if as long as he went in and have that straight up man to man conversation where he's like, sit in my office, let's talk about this stuff, and he's keeping real about it, then they should move forward on it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how it should be. That's professional, professionalism.
Will
If
the Bears be better?
Well, they should. They should because you're always going to be better if you buy into the system. You know what I'm saying? I think Caleb Williams was drafted with the previous regime, so they were kind of quietly. People were saying like, "Look, we're getting a different guy. Relax. Like you're just trying, like make you get
Try
your
not to
numbers
get
up.
hurt.
Yeah, try not to get hurt. Get your number, get your experience up. Like, but we gonna let get this guy. Like your agent was like, "Yo, he ain't gonna be here next year. You're gonna have a new coach." We all could see that. If we knew that, they knew that. You know what I'm saying? So, but then they got Ben Johnson, who's actually a genius. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, he had a he had a very rich kitchen and fridge. He had a lot of ingredients, a lot of groceries. He had a lot of good ballers.
Had paprika.
Oh yeah, oh man, he had the fancy stuff, man. He had kosher salt and truffle oil. He had the good stuff. But they, we'll see what you can do because the talent is probably a step down. You have a lesser offensive line. You don't have mine is two running backs. You kind of have one and a half. DJ Moore. I believe DJ Moore. Yes, he's still on the Bears. I think he's really good. I think that kid is really, really getting like he's starting to hit in his peak. So we'll see if you buy into the offense. It's sky's the limit because they have talent. It's just you have to buy into it. If they don't, and they're friction and they're back and forth, it's not gonna work. But you know what? You know what cures everything, coach? Winning.
Winning.
There it is.
Winning. All right. So to close this segment, the Washington Commanders have a lot of intentionality in their offseason. Jayden Daniels, as a rookie, led the Commanders to their first NFC championship game, since 1991. The team had the best offense that they've had in more than a decade. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was even seventh in MVP voting. So they have done some intentional things. They fixed the line. They got Jeremy Tunsil. They have a good draft pick. They added playmakers. They retain their staff. That's a huge thing to hear the same voices. Will, are we buying this? They're doing things right, and they've got a really hard schedule. A lot of national TV games. This is when you go the other way. If you're thinking about it, tell me how the Commanders are going to do. What are you thinking about the Commanders?
I mean, if Dan Snyder was the guy, yes. If this one of those Dan season where he had last year, this year, I'd be like, yo, we're gonna be some garbage, bro. Ain't no way. There's no way. But cautiously optimistic.
Optimistic.
I like what they're doing. Like you said, they had a very quiet, good draft. They brought in a guy. They tried to say something like, "Oh, he's." I forgot the critique he had of the tackle that they picked up. But I mean, the kid is playing right tackle right now, and he's a baby. I mean, he's going to get in the league and really like learn and grow and things like that as well.
I
And
like the kid from Virginia Tech. They tell me he's good.
yeah,
The
yeah,
wide receiver.
and then they picked up that kid from UCLA, the linebacker. He's supposed to be like a really good special teams guy that can morph into a rotation kind of guy. But that's what you do, man. That's what you do as a good organization. You plug guys and do things like that. You know, there are some tests that come in. I think the first time they brought in some really good free agents. You get an A for me. I get that. Now in the second iteration, I want to see how you handle with your contracts. I want to see if they're quietly done or not done, or if it's like, hey, it's not going to happen, let them go. Because you've seen coaches, I mean, which different organizations which get it done, and others are loud and talking stuff like that. I ain't paying them, and there ain't no way it's going to happen, and it looks bad. It just looks bad. So we'll see what happens. So I'm opti- I'm you know I'm I think that they can do it. So far, they think that they're doing what they need to do. I know they're getting a new stadium, getting ready to go for RFK. They're getting renovated down there in DC. So I know there's a lot of pressure, but I know they feel
That
good.
kind of lines up right around that next contract with Jayden
Yep.
Daniels.
And
Uh,
everything magic does the gold. So I hope it's all happens. You know what I'm saying? We'll see.
ah.
We'll
All
see.
right. So, fans, in segment two, we're just going to go around the league. A lot of news, a lot of notes. Want to get some reaction to it. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student athlete success. I believe every student athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed. Whoa, welcome back to the Ad Coaches Podcast in segment two. The Eagles, the tush push lives, and quite frankly, they talked a little too much trash about this play in the social media. But apparently, Jeffrey Loy and Jason Kelsey had impassioned pleas at the owners' meeting, and the vote was 22-10, and they needed 24 votes. Will, is this much to do about nothing, or will this keep coming up every year? What are you thinking about the tush push or the brotherly shove?
I can't believe we're talking about banning a play that they used to run in 1912. I don't know. I don't know why we're talking about. You can't. Coach. This is the most basic coach. This is the most like basic play that I've ever seen that has so much critique and comments. I'm just like, dude. At the end of the day, if you know what you have to beat, you have to draft guys to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to if the Eagles are the pinnacle of the NFL right now, everybody needs to chase them. How do we stop it? We get the brotherly shove. What? We get big, different, packages, different schemes, how we attack it, how we look at it, how we analyze it. These dudes make too much money that you can't tell me you can't stop that little easy play.
Or keep them out of 3rd and 1.
Yeah, or anything, I mean, but I hope it's done. I hope we don't have to worry about it. I hope other teams start to do it. It reminds me of the torpedo bat. It's another thing where it's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
haven't heard about it, so that's
that's the
good.
one in baseball where it's a
Yes. No, no,
bat.
no. I haven't heard about it since like week
Oh,
2 of
exactly,
the
exactly.
season.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's a core, it's like a
They
curve.
were they were all kinds of things about it, and then it just haven't
Yeah,
heard a thing about it
because
since.
everybody used it. You know what happened? The guy was terrible, gave up like 85 home runs. Everybody like, that bad cheating. No, he just bad.
All right, the Detroit Lions. He's back. Detroit Lions star Aiden Hutchinson is fully cleared to return to football activities. The Pro Bowl edge rusher spoke about his injury. He didn't have any setbacks. This guy was on fire before he got hurt, and it really kind of derailed the Lions in terms of their pass rush. And you saw that when the Commanders ran all up and down the field on him. So he's back, Will. Didn't they trade for somebody else too last year? So I think they still got that guy on the defensive line.
I forgot who it
What
was.
kind of deal does this do having him back for the Detroit line?
It's going to be interesting because he's on contract. He's on contract watch. So he missed last year. This will be his first healthy year back. And then he got a club option after that, which means he's definitely going to want a contract before that. He's definitely gonna be one of those guys who was like, "Yo, like I need a con." But I think he's one of those guys that's a head, hard hat, go play, lunch pail kind of guy, shows up, balls. I don't think he's gonna, stay out or be like, "I'm not playing right. I get that contract." I don't think he's one of that. I'm excited to him. I was hoping, if things go sour, maybe the Commanders can holla at him. I look, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised, but I think he'll be back. This is on his rookie contract, still young. The kid is what he's what 24, 24.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
the sky's the limit with this guy, man. If the Lions
Wow.
get him back on that cost, man, watch out because he's going to be the next big thing from the contracts. Right.
24. All
24,
right.
man.
So Tampa Bay,
1,000.
weight ain't nothing but a number. Will, I want to put you back in the football hut. Tampa Bay has a rookie defensive tackle named Desmond Watson, and he is 6'6", 449 pounds. He is officially the heaviest player in NFL history. Can this guy be the answer to the tush push on the defensive end? What do you think about a guy that big playing D line?
That dude he's a giant. That dude
He
is huge.
needs
He
to be
almost,
wrestling, man.
I mean, look, yeah, he is. Yeah, dude, he's 6'6". Like, dude, he can easily be a giant. Like that man is ginormous.
And he went to Florida, didn't he?
Yeah, he's huge. No, he is huge. Even like he didn't even look like, and he used to. It was funny. He used to wear them little receiver pads. So he walking around with them little receiver pads. Look at how big that giant. Oh man, I'm like, oh man. But they gave him a single digit, so you know what it is, coach in college. If you got a single digit, you're that guy, especially in the SEC. So I know this kid was going to be good. So we'll see, man. I hope it happens. I hope it happens so everybody can stop crying about the tush push and just stop being, just being annoying about it. They need
See,
to
fans,
stop it
these
out.
are the things that's going to have me watching Tampa Bay, preseason games because I want to see this
Oh
guy
yeah, oh
play.
yeah,
I want to
dude.
see, these backups from these college teams,
Does
get
Tampa
out
play the
there.
Eagles? They don't play the Tampa doesn't play the Eagles this year.
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
No, I haven't gotten my list ready for strictly for entertainment
Yeah,
purposes
yeah,
only
right.
yet.
Not
I'm
yet.
still doing some homework. All right, so fans, in segment 3, we're going to talk about the grind, and the grind knows what you're doing. I want to give some love to the UFL guys trying to get that contract. We're going to talk about it in segment 3. We'll be right back on the Eye Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CK Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Eye Coaches Podcast. This segment 3, for the love of the game. When Denver Broncos linebacker Dondre Tillman joined the Birmingham Stallions in 2022, he looked at it as a means to the end. I'm one of the folks who are happy we have spring football. So this guy won a UFL championship with the Stallions, turned around and did a full season with the Broncos, which was 13 games. And he's been doing that for a while. And it's not just him, it's guys like Khalil Davis, who's an NFL free agent defensive tackle. He went the UFL route 2023 when his offers dried up. He hasn't had a substantial break. So we're like, oh man, what's going to happen with this guy? Dallas has Cavante Turpin. He appeared in 29 games in 2022 when combining his seasons with the New Jersey Generals of the USFL. But injuries do happen. So you got some of these guys being injured, but you don't want to lose that NFL salary. The NFL's watching. It's hard. But Will, what are you thinking about spring football? Now, anybody who's betting on spring football need to go to meetings, but in terms of just the grind and trying to make it and chasing that dream, what are you thinking about the UFL and these guys trying to do both?
Oh, if you can do it and you're young, do it. I mean, shoot, there's dudes in their 30s and 40s are playing these tackle football leagues, and they take us and they got work on Monday. I, I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
I
And
had a former
they got
player, a
they
former
got hard
student
jobs,
playing
warehouse
these
jobs, and I
leagues. He
got
broke up.
yeah, yeah, man. Like, so I ain't messing with that, man. So hey, chase your passions when you're young. Chase it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get 35, 40, can't be chasing those dreams
Oh
anymore,
man.
man. And you have to kind of be a little realistic in terms of your life. But if you're young and you playing football and somebody giving you a little check, I don't care if it's $1,000. If somebody's paying you to play football, man, have fun. Forget
Yeah,
you because when you look back, you can say, man, I put everything on the field. I did every opportunity I had, and I couldn't be upset about it.
yeah, you had just mentioned that KJ was playing youth football, and then after his game, he played in one of the last games or whatever. All these older guys came out with their wives, their kids, their girlfriends, and coach is indifferent. So I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, the whatever, whatever is about to play the whatever, whatever. And tickets was like $5. I'm like, I'm not paying for this. And they were like legitimately about to play. And I'm like, wow, this is like tackle football, and y'all got a roster like 35 guys. And you had your little uniforms and the music's playing. So, man, God bless you. So, as we close, melancholy, happy trails, to quote Tony Kornheiser, Jim Irsay, um, owner of the Indianapolis Colts, not as hated as his dad, who moved the Baltimore Colts in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Um, he passed away this past week. Peyton Manning, and we're in a similar situation, I think, in Washington. Indianapolis was more of a basketball place. And when they drafted Peyton Manning, they had some success, and Jim Irsay put his money where his mouth was and built a facility. As they jokingly say, the house Peyton built. And every 4 years or so, I'm in Indianapolis for the Final Four, and how their downtown is set up, I salute it. I hope DC, if this is the avenue they want, can have a downtown like Indianapolis. Everything is indoors. You can walk blocks inside. You got your restaurants, you got your hotels, you got your stadiums, you got your arenas. And a lot of that went through Jim Irsay and what he did. And similar to Marion Barry, he had his personal demons, but man, he flooded the city. He took care of the people around him. And, to paraphrase Marion Barry, the only person I hurt was myself. I never, hurt the city. So we do need owners like Jim Irsay who's going to invest and put in. And I think Washington has something very similar with their quarterback, and a stadium is in play, and that stadium could really, really set off some really positive things in DC, just like Indianapolis hosts everything now. Indy is like a destination city. You can go, you can have something in Indy, and they know what to do. So in
Yeah.
DC, yeah, we're used to having stuff and knowing what to do, but we never had a stadium that's enclosed and yeah, WrestleManias, Final Fours, Super Bowls. It could transform. So salute to Mr. Ursay for all you did to support the Indianapolis area and community. Will, I don't even know if you've had the pleasure of doing Indianapolis, St. Elmo Steakhouse, all of that stuff, but it's really, really a cool place to
I need
visit.
to check it out. I need to check it out.
And
He did
I
speak
will,
out.
uh-huh.
Remember, Jim Irsay speaked out against Donald Trump when he was talking about if you took a knee, you should fire players like that. And he said, he really was like, "Hey, nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that." And like you said, he did have his demons, but it seems like he was on the right side of history with a lot of the things he's talking about. I mean, actually, he was a rich billionaire, so he did say some things. Because ain't nobody gonna fire him. You can't fire him.
Yeah.
But rest in peace, man, for sure.
All right. So on behalf of our captain for life, Will Cott, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.